After months of leaks that would make the Titanic blush, AMD on Friday formally confirmed 4 new second-generation Ryzen CPUs due to launch on April 19. The Ryzen 7 2700X, Ryzen 7 2700, Ryzen 5 2600X, and Ryzen 5 1600 will each be faster and cheaper than their trailblazing predecessors. All 4 chips run at slightly higher clock speeds than the versions they replace. And in a significant change from last year, AMD will bundle various Wraith coolers with the X versions of the chips. AMD's 1st-gen Ryzen X processors didn't include coolers in the box because AMD believed customers who splurged on high-index CPUs would prefer to bring their own cooling. Bradshaw goes the Wraith Spire cooler ships with the Ryzen 5 2600X. Here are the details AMD announced for each 2nd-gen Ryzen chip. The $329 Ryzen 7 2700X has 8 cores and 16 threads with clock speeds ranging from 3.7 GHz to 4.3 GHz. It's bundled with AMD's premium Wraith Prism cooler, which features illuminated RGB fan blades. The $299 Ryzen 7 2700 has 8 cores and 16 threads with clock speeds ranging from 3.2 GHz to 4.1 GHz. It's bundled with AMD's Wraith Spire cooler with an RGB ring. The $229 Ryzen 5 2600X has 6 cores and 12 threads with clock speeds ranging from 3.6 GHz to 4.2 GHz. It's bundled with a Wraith Spire cooler without an RGB ring. The $199 Ryzen 5 2600 has 6 cores and 12 threads with clock speeds ranging from 3.4 GHz to 3.9 GHz. It's bundled with AMD's Wraith Stealth cooler. The 2nd-gen Ryzen chips will be built on a new 12nm fabrication process that's slightly smaller than the 14nm 1st-gen chips. The smaller node and faster speeds doesn't come for free, as AMD says the Ryzen 7 2700X carries a 105-watt TDP, compared to the 95-watts TDP of the 1st-gen Ryzen 7 1800X flagship. The other chips match the TDPs of their predecessors. IDG AMD's new 2nd-gen Ryzen CPUs compared to the original Ryzen chips. As promised, AMD also announced a new X470 chipset for Ryzen's AM4 motherboards. The X470 motherboards include improved power infrastructure for higher clocks on 2nd-gen Ryzen CPUs, though 2nd-gen Ryzen chips will be backwards compatible with X370 motherboards as well. The X470 motherboards also feature AMD's new Stormy technology, which allows an SSD to be used as a cache for a traditional hard drive. Intel's Optane memory modules perform a similar function. Newegg already has 15 X470 motherboards available to pre-order. Although the 2nd-gen Ryzen CPUs could cost slightly more than the current street price of the 1st-gen CPUs they replace, AMD has been holding fire sales on Ryzen chips ahead of this launch. They're significantly cheaper when compared to Ryzen's original launch prices. The Ryzen 7 1700X, for example, launched at $399 but now retails for roughly $289. By contrast, the 2nd-gen Ryzen 7 2700X will cost $329. The competition is more fierce now though. Intel responded to Ryzen's threat by adding more cores to its own processors, and the flagship 6-core, 12-thread Core i7-8700K sells for around $350 online. AMD didn't release any more details on the new CPUs, but several early leaks indicate the new parts appear to overclock higher than last year's chips. Again, look for 2nd-gen Ryzen chips on store shelves April 19. To comment on this article and other PC World content, visit our Facebook page or our Twitter feed.